Hello, my name's Keith, and I'm known as the Florida Stone Man, and today I'm going to be talking to you all about seasons and what seasons are, and I'm not talking about summer, winter, fall, spring, nope. I'm talking about spiritual seasons, and there's something that we always forget about is the planets. So I'm going to go deep into astrology in the future, but I'm learning about it in a way that humans don't know it. Same thing with crystals, is that because people really think, crystals are incredibly complicated and their vibrations change every day. They're just like planets. So astrology is incredibly, you're not just an Aries, you're not just a Virgo, you're not just one sign, you're multiple signs. You're actually multiple signs. Okay, cool. I like this area because people are friendly. When people walk up next to me or behind me, I'm like, okay, cool. But there's multiple signs that the planets will show you that what's going on is going on, and you can fully counter it if you try hard enough and if you do what you're supposed to do. So if you haven't watched my video on how to manifest, then you have to watch it. You do have to watch it, because that video will literally get your life to where you want to be. If you're not manifesting currently, if you're not putting your word out there, if you're not doing visualizations, if you're not talking to God, most importantly, because God comes first. If you're not listening to those subconscious audios that you have to be listening to, do you know how millionaires or people who have gotten, and I've been studying lottery winners and whatnot, they're doing the same thing. They're all doing the same thing. Every one of them is doing the same exact thing. It's just one thing. And I probably won't keep repeating because I've said it in my past videos, so you'll have to watch those videos if you want to learn, because the knowledge is meant for people who actually are hungry for it, not people who are not hungry for the knowledge. Full mouths don't get fed. Okay, so I'm not going to talk about that. Okay, if you want to know, someone's tire just exploded and now they're driving away. Okay. You see, I do videos in public and stuff like that. I'm very focused, but the thing is, there are seasons for everything. So I have an angel who specializes in astrology, a couple actually, and when I'm wondering about certain things, they'll just tell me they'll talk in very specific astrology that's not something that's taught among humans. So when I actually study, it's going to be wild, because it's teaching what angels have. It teaches this. I'm getting excited. It teaches what angels have taught to humans, but the wrong way. The Watchers actually taught humans astrology, but they didn't teach it correctly. They didn't teach it fully. They didn't teach it the way that God allowed them to, because they went behind God's back. God taught them worthless information. So when you obtain information about astrology through God, holy moly, it's something else. And astrology is not even what people think it is. It's something completely different. What you see in the sky is portals. They're actual portals. Constellations are also portals. So I'll talk about that in a whole different video. But when I said this month would be very slow and very painful for a lot of people, but you'll be moving forth. You'll be basically flying. You'll be on your way with speed. So if you pay attention to this month, it's been rocky for some. One thing you'll notice, and this happens, is you see all this anger around you and all this bad things happening, such as a guy's tire exploding from driving away after he didn't pray when he got in the car, or pray when he wake up, or pray when he went to bed. But that's why I say pray every day. Talk to God. Ask Jesus to bless you and your car, because people don't pray when they leave the house, and the enemy has prayers for them. It takes one prayer of the enemy for something to go through. So what are we talking about with seasons? And this is why I'm reading the Bible so slowly, because I'm doing my best to remember it so I don't have to look at a piece of paper like that. So basically, the character in the Bible, the person in the Bible, and that's the thing, I have a bunch of different angels talking to me, so that's the thing. Okay, but I don't even know what chapter in Genesis it is. So basically, Pharaoh wanted his dream to be interpreted, because he had the dream of, I think it was seven wheat shafts and and yes, I can remember the deep details, but my mind's very busy. I'm writing 3 books right now, and my angel said come back to it later in a future video. And the Lord said it's better to not go into the details now, because I don't know the exact details, because I forgot them, and don't misteach the Bible, or don't teach it even a little bit. Don't teach it half correctly. So basically, the Pharaoh was warned that there was a season for what he was doing. So I believe it was a certain amount of years of complete prosperity, and then a certain amount of years of complete famine. That's a balance. So I'd like you to look at some of these, and you might be one of these people as well, but some people will make a ton of money. Oh boy. And most people's families do this, like most people's entire families. So there will be 1 week that they just see money, or just 1 month of money that they've never seen in their life pour in, and they're like, we've made it, yay. And they don't really get it. So if you're someone who's actually ascended in your wealth, you know what I'm talking about, because this is just a pattern. There's books about this, but I haven't read those books. I'm writing my own book. But basically, it's a law of mathematics. So when you do really well, expect a drop. But you can actually change how far the drop is based off of how well you prepare for it and how well you fight during the drop. So in the famine, all the other places in Egypt, all the other people in Egypt had nothing because they didn't save for it. Because when they prospered, they used the prosperity. They invested it incorrectly. So seasons are very, very important, because if you want to become wealthy, if you really want to just do well financially, because I'm specifically talking about finances here, because humans don't understand this. This is why it's basically, I call it shield up, sword out, shield up, sword out. So when you're basically in a video game or even in real life, when you are battling someone, you put your shield up and you swing the sword. You put your shield up, you swing the sword. If you try to swing your sword when you're supposed to put your shield up, you're not going to have either up. And that's what happens to people. So your money will be super up, and then it will come down a little bit, then go super up again, and then goes down a little bit, or it'll go super, super, super up. And then what will happen is it'll go super, super, super down. And then the thing is, if it's about save, be frugal, be generous. Be frugal, be generous. Be frugal, be generous. So watch the cycle. It's literally a pendulum. It's like the giant clock that swings back and forth. Like if you don't have one, get one for your house so you understand the concept of this law of mathematics. So that's the thing. It's like when it flies away, it'll come back. It has to, because that's a spiritual law. God put that in place so people understand it, but people don't understand it. That's why when people do really well financially, they use it all. They're like, we made it. Finally, we did it. And when it's time, when the famine comes around, the famine could be however long God wants it to, or actually it could be however long it is in the planets, because people blame God when he put planets in order. That's why he said there's seasons for everything. So what do you do during the famine? You pull out your manifestations, because your manifestations through the Lord, ask Jesus to bless it, because he will bless your manifestations. If you manifest like no one's business during basically when you're sowing seeds during the famine, when it comes around time for the rewards, you'll see so much abundance that you've never, ever, ever even seen. You haven't even heard of it. You haven't accounted for it. It's just like so much money comes in, and when it comes in, just know that it'll slow down a little bit afterwards, but then it'll pick back up. So you have to understand the cycle. As people get older, they understand this. When people are younger, they don't really know this concept. Some people never get it because they just get family patterns and limiting beliefs, but that's why you see some weeks of money just pouring in and you didn't do anything. It's because planets, seasons, and then weeks on end of just nothing. It's because you were supposed to save. So I remember from certain family members way back then, it's just like very distant family members. It's very far away. And I heard it because it goes through other people's families as well. It's, what's the saying? Money comes and goes. And I always thought that until I had to change that belief. I'm like, money comes to me easily and effortlessly. In hard, what's that Neville Goddard thing? In large amounts comes. You have to study some affirmations online from people who have actually made it, because just use their affirmations. That's it. Don't remake the wheel. Like someone who's already made it, use their affirmations. They're doing it all for themselves. They're doing it and it's working. Do it through the Lord, it'll work 3 times more, 7 times more. Now, if you're manifesting without the help of God, your manifestations will always be taken from you. I laugh because I see people who won the lottery and they're like, I didn't need God's help. I didn't pray. I didn't talk to God. A year later, that person's... So people, when they do it through the devil's wanting them to stay alive. God wants them to go deeper into what they're doing so that they actually seal the deal, so their soul actually proves the deeds. But the whole point is, there's seasons in everything. There is seasons. So hunker down, then basically, like, get in the habit of understanding. So where are you at right now? Life is a roller coaster, but it's a fun one if you let it be fun. So when you go down, it's gonna be fun if you let it be fun. So everything benefits you. If you understand, your blockages are your biggest. They're your biggest weapons. And when you understand this concept and you start understanding universal concepts, the amount of money that you can start making out of thin air through the Lord, when you manifest correctly, and I taught you guys how to do it, you will make so much money that you almost don't even want money, because you have so much money coming in, you're just like, I guess I have everything I ever want, need, or desire, and it gets boring. So it actually, when you hit that feeling, it actually triples. And some people know what I'm talking about. Like, yes, I can have the world or whatever, but once you catch on to the cycle, you'll make a lot of money. I tell younger people this so they learn. I'm like, well, I'll just work and then I'll go to school. And I'm like, okay. I'm going to stop right there. I went to school. I'm going to stop right there. That's a whole different video. I'm going to be like, why y'all shouldn't go to college? I have to prepare for that one. I'm not going to talk about that one. I'm very wordy on that one. And people in college are going to be like, do I drop out? I'm like, no, keep doing what you're doing. Learn from it, because now you'll have an education. But okay, so I'm going to keep my mouth shut on that one, because I'm like, I'm helping you guys become successful, and I really have to talk about that in a different video, but there's seasons for everything. If you're someone at a job, anything you want's yours. You start a t-shirt brand, or you start your favorite, let's say like fishing rods, and you sell your fishing rod, but your fishing rod's a little different. Now you're number one. I know people who are, I wonder if this person these people watch the video. This is one person. He scrubbed toilets, and then he's like, I can't take this anymore. This is not life. And he did what he loved the most, and he said, I can make money doing anything. And he had that mindset, and he talked to God, and he stuck with his mindset. He actually took some very inspired action. He's not even 30 years old, and he's a multi-millionaire, like a big multi-millionaire, and he just looks like an ordinary person. Like, you would think that he's someone who works at the corner store or something like that, because the way he dresses and acts and stuff like that. I mean, he does it because he doesn't want to be known like that. But I didn't know that, and I hope no one, I mean, he's not going to watch this video, but basically, I remember I saw someone washing a toilet once, and I'm like, I feel bad for that person. Like, that sucks. And he says, don't ever feel bad for anyone like that, because basically, that's a season of that person's life, and if they don't understand that, they have to plant better seeds. They have to sow better realities for themselves, because what if, I mean, there's no such thing as, oh, that's the only thing they can do. I'm not going to say more, but this guy, let's just say he was legally limited too. So he had all these factors, and he's like, he wasn't just someone who was, he basically had all these constricting circumstances. And he's like, I'm going to do it. Like, I'm going to die doing this. And God's going to help me. He did it very quickly. Very quickly. So, and there's other people who's like, well, I've taken a break from it. You're going to reap those seeds when you're older. If you're not doing it, I mean, you can, look what Judge Judy said. If you didn't make it when you're 40, you can make it when you're 50. If you didn't make it when you're 50, you can make it when you're 60. If you didn't make it when you're 60, you can make it when you're 70. If you didn't make it when you're 70, you didn't make it when you're 80s. If you didn't make it in your 80s, you can make it in your 90s. You can make it in your 100. And yeah, you can humans can live way past 100. Let's just say that. But, if you know what I'm talking about, but that's the thing, and I like youthfully past 100. I'll say that for a different video. But understand there are seasons for everything. There are seasons in your life that you just have to understand patterns. If you see a situation that you're in that you don't like, you did it yourself. It has nothing to do with God. You did it yourself. So I'm gonna use myself as an example. I wasn't really happy with some progress I was seeing a while ago, and I'm like, why did things slow down? Why did they stop like that? And I talked to God, I talked to beautiful angels, and the Lord said, the beautiful angels and the Holy Spirit said, you're doing fine, but you gotta look what you're doing. It's not all about us, it's about you. You put your faith in us. You surrendered to us. You did your part. What else are you doing? You're neglecting something. Basically, the responsibility is for yours to bear. Don't look towards me and then expect me to fix what you haven't been doing. And I'm like, oh, I stopped with the manifestations for a second because I thought they were an autopilot. I'm like, oops, guilty. But that's what humans do. So you guys, I mean, humans are not consistent. They're just not. So when doing manifestations, affirmations, visualizations, you'll take a day off. You take that day off, it'll affect you for 6 months. Why is that? It's because you are attracting it on a frequency. 6 months. Maybe not strongly, but just one day off is enough to throw a certain frequency off because you put another frequency on. I'm telling you guys, there's seasons and everything. The Bible talks about it in depth. In the future, I'll have a book because I'm going to write a little handy dandy notebook down to teach directly from the Bible. And I'm going to write different aspects of imagery to explain it to you guys in a way that's not just linking a certain verse. I'll actually explain it deeper in depth. That's something I'm working on as well. If you see me taking a little bit longer to respond, I've been so busy. There's 24 hours in a day and I've been using all 32 of them. I'm serious. That's the thing, I've been super busy. So if you have any questions, ask them in the comment section. Understand if something's not going the way you want it to in life, you do more. And don't do more physically. I mean, sometimes, yeah, but do more with your mind. You're probably not doing one of the affirmations. You're not probably doing a visualization, affirmation, etc. If you get frustrated, visualize more. What are you going to do? Stay in your current reality? No, visualization is literally, it gets you to where you want to be. Get a custom necklace from Florida Stoneman or a tourmaline necklace from my website. They make your life 100% easier. Dark spirits gone. Demons gone. Monitors gone. Inconvenience is gone. Bad luck gone. Manifestations in. Money in. Finding money on the ground in. Waking up to random money in your account in. Waking up to new checks, etc. in. Any questions, ask them in the comment section. God bless all of you. Consult the Most High first. Until then, I'll see you guys later. Ciao.